Okay, today I thought I would do a talk over instead of my usual where I do the music. And a good friend of mine who's got her own painting channel, Susan's Creative, gave me the idea. I thought I'd give it a go. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but I'll do the talk over a go and see how it goes. Probably just this once, we'll see how it is. And so this is a still life painting, obviously. It's quite a large canvas. It took me about 8 half days to paint. I suppose it took me about 12 to 15 hours to paint in total. I'm doing the background here with a large flat brush with burnt umber and resin crimson. And now I'm going to do a curtain. I make up the background completely. I make up the background and the foreground. So the background's made up and the foreground's made up. If I did the same background all the time, it would be boring and bland. So I completely made up the background. So I made up the curtain as well. Just a blue with basically white added and burnt umber. Using another large flat brush. It's a large area to cover. You hear that scraping sound. It's I'm trying to push the paint into the canvas. Yeah, trying to get that paint in. So it's where that scraping sound comes in. Okay, now I've done the background. I'm just going to do the highlights on the curtain of the background. So just give it a more curtainy look, so to speak. Yeah, just basically titanium white. Because the curtain is already wet, so I just use straight titanium white on that. If it wasn't wet, I'd have to mix some blue into it. So I use just straight titanium white on the wet curtain, paint it, and just using another brush, large brush, to kind of blend it in, using a flat brush on its side. You could also use a velvet brush as well, I suppose, just to give the curtain more of a curtain feel, like it's got light folds in it, sort of thing. Yeah. Just getting that done. Now I'm doing the foreground, which is a table. Kind of made up the table. The original was on a table, that's why I set it up. But kind of making up the table, you know what I mean? So it's basically burned umber and alizarin crimson again for the table. If you add alizarin crimson to burnt umber, it lightens the brown up. So I like to make my browns with the burnt umber and alizarin crimson mainly. Permanent alizarin, I should say. So I use permanent alizarin, so it's not a fugitive colour so much. Just doing that with another large flat brush. I've already done the bottoms of it previously, darkened up. I mix my own blacks up with 60% French Ultramarine blue and 40% burnt umber. Now I'm going to be doing the tea towel. It's an old tea towel lying around the house. I use it all the time on my still lives. I use a tea towel as a prop. So yeah, it's basically titanium white mixed with ultramarine blue to get that kind of greyish look. And just a little bit of Cad Yellow Light. Can't have it completely white, even though the tea towel is. Again, using another large brush, scraping the paint into the canvas. putting the base colour in, which is white and French ultramarine blue. Now I'm doing the patterns on it on each side. Most tea towels have a sort of a pattern on them, even if they don't have an image. Just using the side of a long, large flat brush. And it's basically ultramarine blue and titanium white and burnt umber to get that type of kind of hazy dark green colour. It looks bluish, but it's actually green. And I added a little bit of Cad Yellow Light to it as well, so to make it green. Yeah, just using the edge of a long flat brush. Wearing a cap to get the glare off the sun. Doesn't bounce back into the eyes. Obviously the bottom of the tea towel is darker than the upper part. Let's fold it down. I would have gone ahead and painted the book that's half immersed. And now I'm painting a big pot, big terracotta pot. It's a lot of fun to paint, and it's like a greenish brownish colour. So I mixed a lot of burnt umber into yellow, which makes a kind of brownish green colour. So if you add yellow to burnt umber, it goes greenish kind of. And Cad Yellow Light lightens it up a bit. So I'm using another large flat brush for the terracotta pot I'm painting. Just making sure the edges are accurate. A lot of fun painting these things, these pots. So I'm painting big terracotta pots, a lot of fun to paint. Basically it's another, like a tea towel type of thing, or like a rag. Just putting that in there. I don't know why I added it, I did for some reason. Now I look back at it, I probably shouldn't have added it, but I did at the time. And yeah, a smaller, I think it's a medium-sized flat brush here to use that. I like to use a lot of flat brushes in my paintings and builds, especially with larger canvases. It's basically white and French ultramarine blue. I think I made it too white, but however, it doesn't matter. It's supposed to be a towel coming out of the terracotta pot. Just adding some highlights here. And using a small filbert brush, size 6 or something like that. Usually have a whole pile of brushes in my left hand. I paint right-handed. Just putting in some highlights. Right, in the middle of that will be a pomegranate, which I've already painted, the pomegranates in the little small green terracotta pot. Now I'm painting another big green terracotta pot, and I love painting these things. I mix my own greens up, by the way. I don't buy any tubes of green paint. I mix my own greens up with French ultramarine blue, burnt umber, and Cad Yellow Light. That's to get my own greens. Added a little bit of white as well, I suppose, to make it look a bit murky dark. Using another big flat brush to cover the bulk of the area up. I like painting these things, a lot of fun. Yeah, you see me scratching it, hear me scratching it, it's just to get the paint into the canvas. and a flat brush. I think just putting a little bit of titanium white highlights on the pot, around the top of the rim and the middle of it, just to give it that three-dimensional look. I mean, this pot didn't take me very long at all, probably half an hour of that. Put some highlights where needed. The light's coming from left to right. Just getting those highlights right. You want to get the highlights pretty accurate. It's important. Now I'm putting a base coat on the apples. I've got 3 apples there to paint. I've already painted the green apple on the right hand side, but I'm painting 3 red apples here, and I'm just using a base coat of Alizarine crimson and French ultramarine blue, and with a little bit of burnt umber in it so it doesn't go purple. It just darkens the red, so it's a base coat there. I'm using again a filbert, a short-headed filbert brush. Just to use accuracy there, just putting in a base coat so that I can use the dark and the highlights. Just to get a base coating. So now I've gone ahead and put the darks in. Now I'm going to put the lights in around the apple with a little bit of yellow, Cad Yellow Light with a small filbert brush, just to give it that three-dimensional look, so it looks like an apple. Going around adding a little bit of highlights to them, a little bit of white there as well, just to give them a bit of highlights. Yeah. They're hard to paint sometimes, these apples. I can never get them right. We do try. They're hard to paint. Red apples are hard. Green apples are easy to paint, I find, but red apples are very hard to paint for some reason. I don't know. I'm adding a little bit of white to give it some highlights. That's all good. So the last thing I'll be doing is painting the grapes, I think. Okay, so now I'm adding just a base coat of green for the grapes using a filbert brush. Like I said, I mix my own greens up. That's basically a mixture of French ultramarine blue, Cad Yellow Light, and a little bit of burnt umber. I mix my own greens up. Adding a base coat just a little bit darker than medium green. Just put a base coat in, and then I can shape all them individually and give them highlights and put the darks where I need it and the twigs where I need them as well. Grapes are also hard to paint. I have trouble painting grapes. I'm terrible at painting grapes sometimes. They're hard to do, but they're a lot of fun as well. They take a lot of time because it's an individual growth each. But I'm just putting a base coat in now. And then I can put the individual shape of the grapes in using a small filbert brush with a lighter colour and just shape them in. And then I can put the darks in between the gaps. And then I can go back and put the highlights in and put the twigs in as well. So it's a lot of fun. And also I've got to put the shade in too, because the light's coming from left to right, so the shade will be on the right side. So we get that done. It's about a size 6 filbert brush, long head, just to fill in the base coat or the medium tone. Just getting the paint into the canvas. It's a stretched canvas. Now I'm putting in the highlights and the dark around the edges, just to shape the with a size 2 filbert brush. So I'm using two of them, one for the darks and one for the lights, the highlights. One's to shape the grapes in like an oval shape, and the other one for dark colour, just to put the darks in, and just going around and putting highlights and shapes and shaping it and putting the darks in between those gaps. This probably took me all morning to do these grapes. You're only going to see a couple of minutes of it. It would have taken several hours to get that done. But a lot of fun. All in all, this painting took me about 15 hours. So now I'm going to go ahead and with just titanium white with a little bit of French ultramarine blue and a small round brush. I'm just going to put some highlights in some of them grapes. Put highlights of white sparkle on them to make them sparkle a bit more, to make them appear to look like grapes. So give them that three-dimensional look. Just dabbing them here and there. Hopefully when it's finished it's going to look a little bit better than this. You know, it took me a few hours to do this, so you only get to see a few minutes of it. Just adding the highlights of white with a little bit of ultramarine blue. Really what I use plain straight white. I think they're too powerful, so I always put a little bit of French ultramarine blue with my white, because straight white, titanium white's too much. I think now that I'm going to add some, using a small flat brush, put some shade, because the light's coming from the left to right. So just using that and putting a bit of shade in, with a little bit of French ultramarine blue and burnt umber, and a little bit of green mixed in it as well. And just pushing and rubbing it in, just with a shaded highlights. And if it gets too dark, I'll have to pull it back with adding a little bit of white. It's a tricky tip doing this. I'll probably have to overpaint some grapes as well. Okay, so now I'm just basically signing my name here after the painting. Like I said, the painting took about 15 hours, took about a week. So it's, you know, every day for half a day. And just using a rigger brush here to sign my name. And that's the painting done. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share and subscribe, and we'll catch you later. Thank you everybody.